Hi everybody, thanks for joining me for another tutorial in Melinda's Rubber Room. I'm here today to show you how to do the twist and pop card tutorial, and I'm going to go through it step by step. This has been out for a while, so you may have seen other samples of this, but hopefully I can go through it and make it a little easy for you to understand. So I'm going to point you down to my work surface and get right to it. So I already have my card base that measures 11 inches by 4¼ inches, and it's scored at 5½ inches. And I've already put my white piece of cardstock in it that measures 5¼ by 4, and that creates just the inside of your card. You want to make sure that this inside piece is in your card before you get to the point where you're putting in the mechanism, because the mechanism will sit on top of that. If you want to go ahead and stamp the inside of your card, you can do so at this time. I'm going to leave mine blank just so that I can use it in the future. And then we have the folding mechanism itself. So this is 2 inches by 5 inches. So it's 2 inches by 5 inches. And it is scored at 1½ inches, 2½ inches, and 3½ inches. These two outside score lines, the one at 1½ and 3½, should just be really light score lines. We're not actually going to use those. All that we need them for is to make the score line from this upper left-hand corner to the right-hand corner, and from the right-hand corner or to the left-hand corner. So you create an X in the center. So again, don't worry too much about these two score lines here. You're just going to create the score line to create the X in the middle. You're also going to score it in the half lengthwise, so that's at 1 inch, and that creates your mechanism. So the mechanism itself, we're going to go ahead and pinch those two edges together to create a mountain fold going across the 2-inch length of the mechanism, and that will create this arrow in the center. So these two triangle pieces here should just be flat on top. Those are not folded in like that. They are folded, the fold is on top of the mechanism, and it's folded like so. Okay, so again, I'm going to start like that, pinch these corners, and bring it together to create that arrow. Okay, so now what we're going to do is bring our card back at the base of our card, and we are going to put glue on both of those little triangles of our arrow. So you're putting it over the entire triangle. You want this to be glued nice and tight on your card. This is going to take a lot of abuse from opening and closing. And what you're going to do is find the center of your card or thereabouts, and you're going to put it, I would put it right where the white cardstock is. You don't want it too close to that score line on top, or it may not open and close all the way. So I went ahead and glued that to the bottom of the card, and now I'm just going to close this to get adhesion to the top of the card. Okay, so I am going to set this aside right now. I'm going to put it under my work mat just to get some pressure on it while it dries. And I'm going to bring in the piece that goes on the inside that pops. Okay, so we have the Pear Pizzazz piece that measures 8 inches by 3 inches, and we're scoring it at 2 inches, 4 inches, and 6 inches. Now the inside decorations on here, you can do just about anything you want. I put DSP on all 4 pieces just because it was quick and easy. If you want, you can put white cardstock on 2 of these. That measures 2 3/4 by 1 3/4. Or if you want to put Designer Series paper on all those, you just wanted to cut 4 of those, 2 3/4 by 1 1/4, which is what I've done. So I'm bringing my Designer Series paper out. I'm just going to glue those down. And because the Designer Series paper is so cute on both sides, I'm going to go ahead and use both of those sides. So I'm going to alternate We have two other designs on the inside. So this is one of those cards in the inside that you kind of want to make sure that you have a design on your designer series paper that is kind of all over the place, not any one direction, because you do kind of lose that direction when you're doing the pop and twist of the card itself. Okay, and just got one more. This card does get pretty thick in the center, so I would be cautious about adding too much thick paper on the inside, or it's just going to get really bulky on you. Okay, so then we're going to take that and we're going to have it mountain folds and valley folds, so it's like a W. So it's like a W or an M, depending on which way you move it. All right, we're going to set that aside and bring in our card again. Hopefully that is all glued into place okay. All right, so we have the inside of our mechanism like so. You can see how that opens and closes. And then we're going to go ahead and take our other piece of designer series paper that measures 5 1/4 by 4. Go ahead and attach that to the front. Doesn't really have a real direction to it, but sometimes I like one orientation better than another. There we go. All right, so the tricky part now is to attach this mechanism. What we're going to do is open this up, and we're going to put glue down on this mechanism on the left-hand corner up until you get to that score line, the really light score line that we did. And then this one is going to be the opposite corner. Okay, so you have glue on the opposite corners of that mechanism and only right up to the really faint score line that makes the X in the center. Now we're going to take our piece here. This is actually supposed to go like that. So the fold is between these two center pieces. So you have valleys on the outside and then mountain in the center. I'm going to go ahead and close that up and turn it sideways. And then when you glue it into place, you're first going to glue it onto one side, like so, and then you're going to glue it on the other side. So you're basically putting it right in between that mechanism. So it kind of cradles it. Okay, so you have this side gluing onto your centerpiece, and this side gluing onto your centerpiece. One's at the top and one's at the bottom of the mechanism. And it's horizontal on the card. And then you're just going to close that up. Okay, make sure it's glued down nice and tight. And then hopefully it will open and close. There we go. And then to close it, you're just going to help it along a little bit by closing it. Just kind of, oops, that glue's not totally dry there. Go ahead and close it again to make it, keep it dry. Okay, I have another sample here. I'm going to go through that one more time. So I have the mechanism in place. I have my designer series, my insert piece here. And this piece here is the folded center is in the facing up, like so. going to fold that in half. I'm going to put glue on this bottom section here and on the top section here. So opposite sides of the mechanism. So put some glue here. Put some glue here. Opposite sections. Take my centerpiece and kind of lay it center in the card itself, and then close that up right on it. So get it kind of on an angle in your card and close it up so that it catches onto those pieces. And then you want that the Pear Pizzazz piece to be centered on your card. You can kind of wiggle that around. That's why you want to use glue on this instead of tape. Just gives you that wiggle room that you want. And then just go ahead and make sure it has good adhesion on there. And then you can open it up and it'll pop out. All right, so that is the Pop and Twist card. I'm going to go back and do some decorations on this and see how the final card worked out. So I just did a quick and easy embellishment on top. I used a die cut and stamped an image and a greeting, and then I stamped an image on the inside as well. All right, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial and that it made sense. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on my YouTube channel. I'll be happy to answer those. You can also reach out to me on my Facebook page at Melinda's Rubber Room. That is where you'll find all the information about my upcoming Zoom sessions and any specials that Stampin' Up! Is offering, and any upcoming classes that I'll be having as well. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Hope you learned something new. And until next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.